When getting a monitor, chances are you won't be as concerned with the aspect ratio as you will be with, say, the resolution, the refresh rate, or the type of panel in question. Understandably, the aspect ratio is not quite as important as the aforementioned specs, but it is still something worth considering. So in this video, we'll be taking a look at what aspect ratios we have available, what their pros and cons are, and which one is ultimately the best for gaming. So without any further ado, let's begin. Let's start with the most basic question. What aspect ratios are out there? How many of them are we even comparing in this video? Frankly, not many. After widescreen became the new standard and 16:9 replaced 4:3, most displays stuck with it. Today, most gaming monitors stick with it too, but the most popular alternative is the ultra-wide 21:9 aspect ratio. And as if that weren't enough, humongous 32:9 monitors exist as well. As you can see, it's all about the width in these three, so what does this extra screen space get you? First and foremost, a 21:9 or a 32:9 display will make multitasking easier to say the least. Of course, even if you're only focusing on one task, all the extra screen space can still be helpful, and when it comes to gaming, a wider monitor will mean a wider field of view. Now, of course, this can constitute a significant advantage in multiplayer, as you'd be seeing more than you usually would with a regular widescreen monitor. However, because of this advantage, some developers intentionally disable ultra-wide support in their games in order to make the game fairer. On top of that, some developers don't even bother enabling these ultra-wide aspect ratios in their games, and needless to say, older titles and console ports are unlikely to work properly with an ultra-wide monitor. Of course, there are some inherent disadvantages to larger screens as well. Sure, you get that sweet extra screen space and a wider field of view, but keep in mind, ultra-wide monitors are physically larger and, as such, boast a higher resolution. Naturally, this can constitute some extra strain on the GPU. And then we also have to keep the refresh rates in mind. Today, 60Hz, 144Hz, and 240Hz are all viable options for gaming monitors. With ultra-wide ones, however, 60Hz is the most prevalent, while only the more expensive ones come with refresh rates as high as 144Hz. As such, you'd need to decide what you like the most: an ultra-wide screen, a high refresh rate, or having money in your bank account, because you'll have to part with one of these. And speaking of price, an ultra-wide monitor will obviously always be pricier than a regular widescreen one. The good thing is they aren't that expensive overall, and you can easily find one for less than $200. Although this will come at the cost of some features that you'd usually find in a 16:9 monitor in this price range, such as the aforementioned higher refresh rate or simply a higher quality panel. So with all that we've said in this video in mind, which is the best aspect ratio for gaming? We'll have to give the edge to the regular 16:9 widescreen monitors here for a couple of reasons. The first and most important reason is that it's the most widespread aspect ratio by far, and as such, it's universally supported. On top of that, if you're on a budget or simply don't want to overspend on a monitor, a 16:9 monitor will always present better value than an ultra-wide one. Now, this isn't to say that the ultra-wide 21:9 and 32:9 aspect ratios are bad. They're great if you want that extra screen space and or a wider field of view without having to bother with multi-monitor setups, but it comes at a cost. If you support some potential strain on the GPU, a lack of certain features, and usually a higher price tag. And there you have it, the best aspect ratio for gaming. For most people, it'll be 16:9 because it's been the standard for years and is universally supported by modern games, unlike 21:9 or 32:9. Anyway, we hope that you find this video helpful. Give it a like and subscribe to this channel if you did, and click on that bell icon to see more videos like this one. Also, we've left links in the description to our other videos covering monitor specs. They're mostly concise like this one, but they'll help you a lot when the time comes to shop for a new monitor, as will our guide for the best monitors currently out there, so make sure you check that out as well. In the meantime, may your games be fun and your losses few. And as always, we'll see you next time on Gaming Scan.